everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last build we went video game when we built the wrench from BioShock. And if you missed that build, we're going to include the link to our channel's homepage in the description below so you can go over there and check out BioShock wrench or any of the other cool videos we have there. But for this build, we are going sci-fi. So without further ado, Black Sheep Props would like to introduce you to the newest member of the family. Yeah, here it is, man. The police blaster from Fifth Element. That's right, check that out. That thing is crazy. Love this thing. Look at that, man. Weathered, stained up, rubbed off from all the hand grips. We've got the oxidized metal on here. We've got all the scratches all over it. This thing is so cool, man. Jam and handle. We've got the wiring. We've got the cocking device. This thing is so cool. So in this episode, making an EVA foam Fifth Element Police Blaster Part 1, we're going to begin going step by step through how to make it. And we have a template for this thing too, so if you want to pick up a template and build along with us so you can have your very own police blaster, the link will be in the description below for the storefront, so if you want to pick up a template, you can. So that's about it, man. If you're ready to hit it, let's make something. We're going to start with sandwiching these two big huge pieces of foam together. Here's a 1/2 inch, which is 12 millimeter, and a 3/4 inch, which is about 18 millimeter. And all right, there we go. Give it a couple minutes before we stick it together. Okay, now we're going to take this over to the bandsaw and we're going to knock off these cuts so that we have a nice straight edge. All right, there we go. Look at that. Beautiful 90-degree cuts everywhere. Now we got the foam the thickness we needed it. All right, here we go. Here's our pieces that we're going to be cutting 2 of each out, and we're going to be sticking them on both sides of our body. We've got 3 millimeter, 6 millimeter, and 4 millimeter. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to cut these all out. All right, there we go. There's both of them. Now all right, perfect. Let's sharpen up our brass tube. Put some pressure on it, spin it a few times. Look at that. Boom, that easy. We're going to go from edge to edge. And we're going to go right through to this edge. Just like that. Perfect, that is beautiful. All right. Carefully around this circle detail. All right, there we go. There's both of them cut out. Now, if you notice, we have some marks on here. This line here, we're going to use our wood burner, and we're going to burn a detail, and then these little dots we're going to poke holes out with the brass tube. So let's get our skin peeler heated up, our wood burner, and have at it. All right, before we get the wood burner out, we're going to come in here with our brass tube that we just sharpened up. All right, there we go. Perfect. The beautiful, the awesome, sharpened brass tube. Love it. All right, here we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 techniques on here. We took a circle template and we completed our circle on both pieces like that, okay? Now the line we're going to wood burn, but this cut we're going to use the X-Acto knife for. All right, so let's make sure that we're hot enough. Oh yeah, holy smokes, we sure are hot. Go at a consistent speed and consistent pressure. And we're going to get right to the end. And then we're going to go backwards just a little bit like that, so it gets a nice clean edge right there. All right, now we're going to have to do the same thing here. We're going to have to start our line, and when we get to this end, we're going to go backwards just a little bit to get a clean end at the end of that line also. All right, so let's do it. We're going to come in and we're going to start, get a consistent speed, a consistent pressure. All right, now here we go. When we get to the end, we're going to back up real quick. Right there, just like that. See that? That's how you want to do it. We've got a nice clean corner here, and we've got a nice clean end there. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our X-Acto blade, and we're going to cut. We're just going to break the surface. Right to the edge of that line there. All right, now we're going to come in with our heat gun. We're going to let it get really hot, and we're going to heat up this cut we did with the X-Acto knife to open up the gap. All right, let's see if we... All right, there we go. See that? Now we go. All right, there we go. There's two sets. We've got the wood burned line, and then we've got the X-Acto line. Just like that. Like that. There we go. All right, there we go. Both of them cut out. Our two 4mm pieces. We've got our two 6mm pieces, and we've got our two 3mm pieces. And the reason we did that is this. All right, we cut these. Now we know that these edges are going to go up here. We know that this whole piece is going to line up here, 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 and here. So we know everything's going to be identically on the right side. And then this top and this corner is going to match up with this top and this corner. And this is flush right there. All right, there it is, just like that. That's exactly what we want, right there. All right. Did a pretty neat job there. All right, we're gonna give these a couple minutes to set up, and then bam, contact. All right, we're not gonna touch it down because we want to line up all the way along the edge. Okay, there we go. We're flush all the way along this edge right here. Nice. All right, let's keep it all lifted up. Let's go down this edge, make sure we're good. And we are. All right, now let's look at where our marks are. There we go, and there we go right there. All right, see that? You can't just drop it down. You got to take your time. You got to line up. Let's make We're going to make sure we're flush all the way down the edge, and we are. And all right, there we go. Both sides are done. Now we're going to bring in our template. And right here. All right, that is sweet. Yeah. All right, now we get some bandsaw fun. That's right, the bandsaw and maybe even the scroll saw. We can do a lot of the straight stuff with our bandsaw. We got some pretty tight curves that will probably go in there with the scroll saw. So let's do it. Okay, now we're going to come over to the scroll saw because it's got a deeper throat, so we can get in here and get done what we got to get done. back it out. Let's come back in from this side. Really cool. Now you see why we take the steps. We draw kind of the funky shapes with a lot of square outer edges so that we can line our templates up all in the exact same spot. So when we flip it around, everything is a mirror image of the other side. All right. Okay, now we have to cut the ends off round like this. So all right, we've got our mark here and here. We're gonna move over to the scroll saw and we're gonna cut those out. All right, look at that, man, that's looking good. Okay, now we're gonna come in with our 36mm foam dowel, that's 1.5 inches, and we're gonna be putting this piece right here along the top. So, all right, that's our mark right there. All right, now what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be wrapping this dowel with a thin piece of 2mm so that the diameter is going to be exactly this diameter right here. All right. This much, and then we're going to need this much. So if this goes to this mark right here, and then this goes to roughly this mark, that gives us our overall length. From here, here's the top piece, and then here will be the bottom piece to right there. And we're not going to wrap it all the way around. We're only going to partially wrap it. It doesn't need to connect because we're going to be only using half of the dowel. So, all right, there we go. Give it a couple minutes and we'll wrap it. Just like that. All right. All right, there we go. See that? Nice and smooth. Now, the only reason we did that is we had to increase the diameter so that that diameter is the exact width as this piece, which it is. We wrapped our dowel with a 2mm piece of foam. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make all of our measurements to knock it out on the bandsaw. All right, we're going to, right there, perfect. All right, we're gonna step over to the bandsaw and we're gonna knock those off real quick. All right, there we go. There's our 2 dowels. That one fits perfectly, and so does that one. But this one we're actually not going to use as one piece. We're going to cut it into 2 pieces. All right, we've got our halfway line. So we're going to go to the bandsaw. We're going to cut this out on the bandsaw. All right, there we go. See that? Perfect. We wrapped our dowel, then we cut it in half. Now when we come in and we put this here, it's going to fit perfectly on there. Look at that. That is nice. Line our edge up. And then we're going to go right down this side. Line. All right. Perfect. Now we're going to line this edge up. We're going to muscle it in there a little bit. It's just a hair too wide, but since it's foam, see what we're doing? We're muscling it right in place. Bingo. All right, now. Love it, man. Love it. Nice round top. All right, now we're going to come in with this piece and we're going to do the same thing down here, but we're going to have a small space in between. Let's say 1/4 inch, 1 1/8. So right, 1 1/8. Instead of 1/4, we'll do 5/16. All right, there we go. There's our 2 marks right there. Now we're going to. All right, there we go. That's where we're going to make our cut. All right, there we go. We're going to cut off our little fuzzies down the edge. All right, there we go. There's our 2 pieces. Right there. And right. All right, there we go. Give it a couple minutes. Get our edge on here flush on this side over here. Right down the side, see that? That's a nice flush corner right there. Now we're going to come around to this side and we're going to squeeze it in so it's the exact length of our corner right there and right there. All right, there we go. Look at that. Perfect. Like a glove. Flush here, flush, and flush. And that's what we've got. All right. All right, we got some super glue down in there. Use our foam squeegee to get good coverage around the whole piece. All right, now we've got some squeeze out there we're going to get off. Perfect, nice detail too, nice round over. All right, now we're going to work this little piece in the middle next. Okay, now we're going to come in with our 18mm dowel. And it's going to go right to that mark right there, but we're going to wrap it with this piece of foam. But before we wrap it, we want to put a detail on here, and we have all of our little lines marked because we're going to come in with our wood burner and we're going to go right through these marks. Like that. All right, there we go. Just like that. All right, now this is the same thing we did on the last dowel. We're only going to use half of this thing. So we're going to, just like that. Give that a couple minutes and we'll stick it together. All right, let's. All right, there we go. Look at that. That is mighty cool. All right, beautiful. Let's see what we got. Oh man, get the heck out of here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put cement on both ends too. All right, now we're gonna be wedging it in a tight area, but it's okay because we can bend it a little bit to get it in there. Get right inside of our line, just like that. All right, there we go. We've got down on both ends and in the middle, and we've got the counterparts here on the ends and in the middle. So just give it a minute, and then bam, contact. Make sure that we carefully get this down in here, right where our Sharpie mark is, down here at the base. Okay, there we go. Perfect. We've got it stuck to the back wall and up against the front like that. Good grief, man. That is tighter than tight. Nice detail. That is a nice little detail right there. Cool. All right, now we're going to attach this 2mm piece to the top of this 3. And then this is going to come right through there. All right, so it's flush here. All right, we're going to take our brass tube. We're going to poke our 4 corners out. All right, there's one. Poke through just like that. I'm going to slide right through. There we go. Got nice round corners, and where you might have had a little bit of a piece left, you just clean it up with your Dremel. Really nice. There we go. 1 inch here and 1 inch here. Okay, so now we did it. We actually didn't need this middle mark. All we really needed was the center and these marks right here. All right, now let's just do a dry fit to make sure that we're in a good spot. Okay, this is going to wrap around, and it's going to come around, and it is going to overlap right here. So this is where we want to make this additional really cool detail, which is why we took the time to make these measurements. All right, just like that. Make a curve just like that. All right, we'll show you why. Perfect. All right, now let's see what we got. Just like that. Look at that. That is nice. Really nice. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a mark there with our Sharpie because we want this area to be clean. We don't want to get contact cement there. Wouldn't be right there and right there. And we're going to come down here. All right, see that? We've got our center mark lined up. All right, there we go. Look at that. That is cool. All right. All right, now this piece is going to go right here like this, but it's going to wrap around the top and over to the other side. So what we did was we transferred that piece over, then measured the distance here, which is here, and then flipped this piece over to here to make our template that's going to wrap around here. So we're going to get this covered. And we're going to stick it down, just like that. We're going to hold it while it bonds. And we're going to get across the top. There we go. Just like that. And we're going to hold it while it bonds. All right. Nice. Let's keep going. Okay, now we're going to do these two circle details. So what we're going to do is we came in here with our sharpened brass tube, which we love. And look at that. 3 spins and it pops right through, and that is a razor sharp inner circle. We're going to draw our slightly smaller circle in there. See that? Just like that. Right, that's going to be the top part of our bevel. So here and right here is where we're going to be cutting. So we're going to go over to the bandsaw. We're going to slightly tip our table and cut these out. All right, look at that. That's what we wanted, a little recess in the middle and a tapered edge. Now when we come in and we put that in there, whoa, look at that. All right, we've got our super glue down. Perfect. All right, there you go. So far, so good. We are neck deep into this thing. And it's going great. Really cool, not hard. Just you got to be careful. There's a lot of work in here, but it's not hard. We've got a bunch of this bulked up already. The mass of this thing is pretty much put together, but we got a lot more to go, a lot of details to still go. Well, that's pretty much it. You saw it, easy peasy. That concludes making an EVA foam Fifth Element Police Blaster Part 1. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel, and together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.